Welcome to Morning Infusion with Dr. V. Have you ever wondered what it would be like to be a mom and a doctor and lead with integrity and poise? Well, my name is Dr. Viola Pierce, owner and CEO of VP Nursing and the Nurse Nurturer, where our goal is to equip healthcare professionals to be spiritually and physically fit, financially stable, able to lead with integrity, to decrease error at the bedside, and in leadership, to lead a full, empowered life. Our goal is to come to you each Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals, to show up exceptional on a daily basis. You can follow us on Twitter at The Nurse Nurturer, Instagram at VP Nursing, and if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You can also visit our website at www.vpnursing.com. So we have a special guest today, Dr. Ali Griffiths. So not so simply put, Dr. Ali Griffiths is a powerhouse, a published #1 best-selling author, global transformational speaker, and a startup business coach for women. She has dedicated her career to helping women to start profitable businesses and to create wealth on their own time and terms. Whether we're talking about her hit podcast, the Dr. Ali Griffiths Show, or leading the sales team for personal development and media titans such as Lisa Nichols, Steve Harvey, and Susie Carter, Dr. Ali is a rock star in every room she enters. But what sets her apart from many is that she's not one to rise alone. With an incomparable blend of business strategy and personal development, there is a depth to Dr. Ali's coaching that is unmatched. Her proven path to profitability, laser clarity, systems, and sales. Learn more about Dr. Ali and opportunities to build an extraordinary business and life at www.draligriffiths.com. Yay! So welcome.
What is that?
I love it. I love it. I love it. So, so tell us a little bit about your journey to become Dr. Ali Griff. Okay, what was the motivation to become a doctor?
Oh my goodness. My father always said he wanted all of his kids to be doctors.
Okay.
Apparently, I really wasn't listening, and we were just speaking about that. I wasn't listening. I said I didn't want to become a doctor. I'm not going to become a medical doctor. I'm not interested in that. I was interested, and then I lost interest when I got to college. And then somehow it just continued to happen and it unraveled. And I got into the field of audiology and I fell in love with ears. And that became that journey and helping people that had difficulty listening, I guess, hearing and communication. So that led into the doctorate.
Well, he got his wish. Look at there. Look at there.
Getting his wish, exactly.
So, what was the catalyst for you to become a coach?
The catalyst was when I had my first, I had my first session. I did a program through Steve Harvey. It was called the Act Like a Success program, where I learned more about developing my business. I had a business first, helping other special needs and families learn more about wellness, fitness, nutrition, and just helping other special needs families because I'm a special needs mom to a son with autism. And through that program, the business development program, I began to learn more about personal development space. Fast forward to a session I had with my first personal development coach was Doreen Rainey. And as we're unpacking all the things that I do, she was like, well, what's one of the things that happens a lot in your life that you really don't really see? And it just always happens. And I'm like, well, I'm that person people are always calling to dissect things and clarify things. And so she was like, do you realize that all these time that you've been coaching on the phone? And I'm like, no, I'm just helping people. Like people just keep coming to me for help. And as a result of that, I was like, well, what is this coaching thing? Because I only knew about the academia world. I didn't know anything about the coaching world. And then it just opened up my world to the fact that, oh my goodness, I've actually been helping them with my gifts. And then I later became certified, and here I am now moving forward as a business coach.
Gotcha. That is super awesome, super awesome. I That's kind of the way that I started too, because I was just helping people transform their lives because, there were things that I just didn't know, right? And then it was like, well, let's turn this into a business, why don't we? Now, can you name a person that has a tremendous impact on you as a leader?
My mama. I mean, you gave my bio, so we definitely know those the people who touched my business leadership role. But as a leader, as a person, as the character that I became, is May Griffith. I'm going to name her name. She is the one that truly showed me what true leadership is and how to lead from within.
Yeah. I would have to say that same thing about my mom. She is phenomenal. And, it's good for us to have those mothers who nurture us and, push us on out of the egg. I tell people all the time that I wanted to be an engineer because we were talking about that before we came on. I wanted to be an engineer. My mama was like, well, yeah, no, we don't have to school, so I'm gonna need for you to go to the community college. And I went to the community college, and then I became a nurse. Best decision I've ever made. But it was because she had a foresight that I did not have, and so it's been
Mm.
amazing, amazing. Now, what are some of the most important decisions that you have to make as a leader in your coaching business?
The most important decisions I have to make is to stay present. I have a lot of business skills, and I definitely am a strategist when it comes to thinking of things. And sometimes I can really get in my head. So sometimes I have to remind myself to stay present. And what I realize that most people tend to gravitate towards me for is the fact that I'm present with them. Like they feel like they see themselves when they're around me. So even though you may think that that's not a top leadership characteristic, it's really what distinguishes leaders from exemplary leaders.
Mhm, mhm, and I think so too. That's really good because it's really hard because you have to do the coaching of the business, so you have to do the skills within the business, but also not just the skills of the business, but the business of the business, right? And
Mhm.
so those two together sometimes takes you out of your character, it takes you out of that coaching, and it's like, I'm thinking about this over here and I'm thinking about this over here, and it's really, really difficult at times. So yeah, that not being present is can be a struggle. I definitely for sure. So I've had to, delete some apps from my phone,
Mhm.
put my phone in my pocketbook and, turn off my notifications to my watch, right? To be present. You got to be very specific, okay? Because otherwise you won't be, present.
Mhm.
So now, what are some things that you do to awaken your creative thinking?
Meditate. I am I learned, right? So I grew up a Christian. I am still a Christian and I pray. So I should always lead with that. But what really took it to a different level was when I learned how to meditate through my prayer and to be still, to reconnect with myself, to allow myself to be receptive to um, whatever I'm supposed to hear, downloads, whatever I'm supposed to feel, whatever I'm supposed to do in life. I just learned that the importance of meditation, um, it reconnected me back to myself and reconnected me back to not only just my physical self, but who I truly am within.
And I've always said
Destiny. Sorry.
yeah, I've always said that meditation is God telling us what He wants us to hear, right? And prayer is us telling God what He wants to hear. So now, what is your routine as it relates to meditation?
So on my podcast, the Dr. Ali Griffiths Show, it's mindset, meditation, and motivation.
Uh huh.
Everyone kept asking me, why did I add meditation to it? Because I am not a stickler guru. I don't have any trained um, skills in terms of meditation. I had to create my own meditation, what meditation looks like to me. Because as an autism mom, I never know how long I'm going to get a chance to be still.
Right.
So I call them all meditation moments, right? Because it's times when you sneak it in. So, of course, starting my morning, I always try to start my morning with at least 15 minutes of stillness, just laying down, either repeating affirmations, either just listening to different tunes or sounds, focusing on what I want to do for the day, or sometimes just clearing my mind. Like, I really love when I can just clear my mind, either listening to just one sound in the room, focusing on my breath, and just trying to get everything, because a lot of us, especially as moms, mompreneurs, we're constantly with 50 million things in our heads. So before I get into the planning and before I get into the movement, I call them just being still and trying to silence and quiet all of the noise within our head. So that happens in the morning. However, what I love about all meditation moments is that we need to have them during the day. So what I speak a lot about is helping us to know that it's not only at specific times, that through moments when you just feel unraveled, when you feel overwhelmed. And I posted a lot in my groups. I'm usually like, okay, stop. I need to go and meditate, all meditation moment, right? Because I just feel everything just coming on a lot. And usually when I stop and settle for even 5 to 10 minutes, I'll come back and I'll complete shift. So that's what it kind of looks like.
Yeah, I tell people I wake up at 4 a.m. in the morning. And the reason why is because we exercise at 5. And so it's that time before we exercise, praying in that meditation. And the reason why I do that is because before, what would happen is I would wake up and then the children would wake up and then that was a wrap, right? Now I'm an empty nester now, so I'm good. But however, before I wasn't, and I had to get it in before they got up, because once they got up, their agendas become your agendas. And so there's no more
Even like that, like now Zachary knows because he saw me started so young in his life. So now he'll come in, and if he sees me meditating, he'll either, depends on the stage, he'll just lay down right next to me, and he'll just lay, sometimes, I don't know if he's doing his meditation, but sometimes he just lays and be still for as long as he can. And then sometimes he'll peek in and he'll go, okay, and then he'll now step out or whatever. But the best thing about that now is in the nighttime, when, especially during some times he was having difficulty with self-regulating, he would just say, Mom, can you put on my meditation music?
Look at him working it out.
He does his thing now, and he's like, okay, I need to calm down. Okay, breathe. So they watch us, they see, and we just do it for ourselves, and then they just pick it up just by being around us.
Yes, yes. And I talked about before we got on about children and how they just kind of go wayward, and you think, oh my God, what am I going to do with these children? And then all of a sudden they come back to what you have taught them. What you have taught them, what you put in them is what will come out of them. So that is good. That is good. I love it. So as you spoke about, you have an autistic son who is super cute. Now tell me about your feelings when you found out and how you adapted to that.
So as you can see, and for those that are listening, I'm an audiologist and a speech language pathologist. So by trade, I actually chose to work with individuals with special needs. From when I was in college, I was introduced to a class that it unraveled the special child. And I chose mentally, and I didn't realize that this is what I was choosing for my life, that I wanted to help people who were voiceless and who weren't able to communicate. And I wanted to help them to show that there are other ways to communication. Now, fast forward, here's my son, knowing all the signs, because I've done early intervention for years as a speech pathologist, and seeing the signs, all the check mark book signs of what autism looks like. I always used to say, when he used to line things up in a line, when he used to put all his trains in a line, and this is in my book, Amazing Gift, I would just mess it up because I didn't want to see it. He would line up his cereal and all his Cheerios, and I would just mess it up because I didn't want to see it. So I spent maybe a few months through the process. I mean, it was still relatively early. Within 12 to 18 months, I began to see some signs. But then I got him early intervention and I started moving forward with it. But the first few years were rough. Even as a professional, I would work with it on the outside. And I love the fact that you have professionals that are listening, that are medical professionals that are listening, and our family extensions, family friend extensions. When we as medical professionals, and we know the signs of things, and we don't want to mentally know the sign of things, we may just put it under a rug and pretend it's not happening. And the weirdest thing about it is that we're serving out there in that capacity. But then I would close the door and I would at times just cry, because I'm like, I'm able to give everyone's child, level of care. And here I am. I can't believe that this is mine. I thought, woe is me. I thought I was the one that did something wrong. Every single textbook case of denial and the stages of grief kicked in. And it was a process. It was a journey. My healing time was actually writing the book and actually presenting that to the world. Because to me, and that was just it was in, I turned 4. So 4 years ago, 3 to 4 years ago, was writing the book and sharing it with the book. And this is what I do with some of my autism moms now that want to learn how to get through it. The therapy of writing, the therapy of speaking about it, the therapy of keep helping yourself as you help people through the process. I began to keep helping myself through the process. So it was a journey. It was a journey.
I love it that you work with autistic moms, because I think that, our purpose in the world is derived from our greatest pain. And the reality is that we're going through the pain and we think that it is futile, but the pain that we go through is for someone else. It is for you to overcome and for you to help someone else with that pain. So I love that you do that. Now, what are some of the characteristics that you believe every leader should possess?
All right. So true leadership to me possesses being kind, being knowledgeable, having really good receptive language skills. So many would think is expressing and just, being able to express yourself also, and to have people connect with you on a level that's outside of what they think it is. So outside of what's in front of them. So helping them to see that there's more, helping them to have connections, helping them to be their best selves, leading through example.
Yes.
That to me always is the streamline of it. Out of anything, my mompreneurs, people who I coach, they will say, Dr. Ali, you are authentic, you walk the walk, and I share the journey. Like, not acting like if you're so above them, but remembering that I am you, just at a different level or at a different stage, but I am you through the process. And to me, that's that level of connection. So listening to them and connecting with them through that aspect.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. And it is, because they see you. I mean, you can say things all the time, but until you actually walk that walk, then they really can't see how you've done it, and they don't believe that they can do it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is super, super important. What is some advice that you would give someone that is going into business for themselves for the first time?
Get clear, create a plan, execute, get coaching.
That is so true.
That right there
changes the game.
There was no way I thought I was going to become a biz coach. And like I will always say, I'm a communication guru. I did not think I would be helping people with their businesses until I began to realize how much help people need with their businesses. Mm-hmm. And they're either stuck in an idea or stuck in a dream and a passion, a purpose, especially those that are moms, especially moms that have put everything aside. And then now they're, okay, I want a business, and they're just going in circles. And it's just like, okay, what are you doing? And I remember myself there, right? Because I thought it was just, okay, get an LLC and just, I have a business. And it was like, oh no, there's a lot of other things to this. There's marketing, there's the social media, there is branding, there is, there's finance. There are so many aspects of business that we don't know, right? So when having the privilege to coach under millionaires or be in their space, it was able to help me to, of course, my phone's going to go up during these times, to realize that don't do it alone. Get that business support, that business coach. And to me, a good business coach is someone who shows you the rope and make it easier for you to do it.
That's right.
So shortcut your time, especially my business owners that are over a certain age, and realize that they don't want to spend that amount of time, by getting someone who's done it and can show you the shortcut through things and the easier way to make it. No, it's not easy, but it definitely relieves some of the stress.
Right. And that vision is super important too, because without vision, people fail. And then, the people perish. But also the deal is execution. I mean, if you don't execute, there's nothing going to happen. And I mean, it is every day. Typically, I mean, of course, you want to give yourself time to rest, but as a general rule, constantly thinking about things that the next thing that you need to do, right? The next thing that you need to do, because I didn't plan to continue on actually with this morning infusion with Dr. V. I was just doing it initially to promote the business. And then it actually was something that was like, okay, people like that. So let's continue on with it, because we need to pour into our tribe as well. We need to serve, because it is very important for us to serve our tribe. So yes, I understand that. That's super important. So what is one behavior or trait that you have seen derail more leaders' careers?
Confusion. Confusion and keeping, because when they're not clear, they can't lead clearly.
Oh.
Right. And I've seen a lot of leaders lead in confusion because they have their content. This is where I come again with, they're only seeing things from their perspective, and they're not understanding the other end of who's receiving, who they're leading, not tapping into their brand, their avatar, if you want to say that, but just out here doing what they think they're supposed to be doing. And it always ends up in some sort of confusion, because you have people out there that are leading everyone. So I just came here to lead everyone. And I just want everyone to listen. I'm gonna create this product, and I'm gonna lead a tribe, and I'm gonna do all these things, and they're leading in confusion. And I'm a stickler of having some sort of plan. First, getting clear. That's how I always say, get clear. Get clear to the fact that now, once you're clear, you can lead confidently. You can lead with clarity. You communicate better. But when you are confused, you are all over the place. And the most painful thing to see is to see a leader leading in confusion, because those who you're leading are now in confusion also.
That's right. That's some good stuff.
All the things you didn't think you were going to hear, because I've heard all the other stuff before, and I'm sure everyone else heard the other stuff. So I'm giving you the things that no one ever thinks about. That's reality. That's what you always get from me. Something different, unique. You're like, wait, what? Yes, confusion. Stop leading confusion. Like, get clear first before you go out there and say you're gonna lead.
Gotcha. I love it. Now, what are a few resources that you would recommend to someone looking to gain insight into becoming a better leader? Dr. Allen?
Oops, I'm like, oops. Was that a temporary gift? So I will always say, besides reading books, right? Because people are going to list a different set of books that you can read. What made a difference for me really was when I did a business development coaching program, right? Like I started off with the Steve Harvey program. I moved on to the Lisa Nichols and Susie Carter program. When you do programs, or you work with a coach, or you work with, or you're around a mastermind of other people that are doing business, it helps you to really take your business to the next level. you begin to learn the principles of success, a successful business, because you want, of course, people who are successful in it. So to me, surround yourself, immerse yourself, love what you do, and understand that business can be fun also. That was what I needed to learn, especially since, we're good in one field. Like my nurses out there, audiologists, speech pathologists out there, people who fill in the blank for your profession. We know what we do really well, but we're scared of business, right? Because we didn't go to school for business. We didn't focus on business, but we have to learn it if we're going to do it. So you have to learn about branding and marketing and what it's like to be a CEO and just that whole CEO mindset, because and how to do media and how all these little things that are aspects and foundations and pillars, keeping your systems together, keeping your standard operations procedure. I know it sounds like gibberish, but it's so important for us to learn these things. And to me, that is what made me a more effective CEO, was when I began to truly learn the inside, the back end of what it's like to have a business. So be surrounded with other groups and people who can teach you and show you. We're all going to have an inept thing that we do amazingly well, but surround ourselves with tribes and leaders and coaches, mentors that can help us to hone it in and to learn the inside, the back end of what it looks like. I always speak about learning the front end and the back end, the front end and the back end, right? We see leaders out there, we're thinking they're just speaking, we're thinking they're just coming in with, their clothes all done and all that kind of stuff, not realizing, or you go to an event and all you see is the flash and circumstance, the pomps and all the good stuff. And what you're missing is the back end of it. So start learning the back end and surrounding yourself with it, and you'll see it'll take you to the next levels.
That's right. That's right. That is some good stuff. That's some good stuff. Well, it has been a pleasure having you, Dr. Ali. I know I got you up pretty early this morning.
My tribe, and I just shared it out on my page. My tribe is like, Dr. Ali is doing a live this time. Yes, I am. When your sister calls you, one of your business tribe sisters call you and say, "Hey, can we have a conversation?" And they tell you the time, and you're like, "Okay, I'll be there." I got up, took a shower, put on my brightest shirt. I put my Power Move Biz Academy students. I put on my brightest shirt because I'm gonna come full, like if it was 7 in the day or whatever time in the day this is.
Well, thank you. So, again, my name is Dr. Viola Pierce. We will be coming to you. Our goal is to come to you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time to give you the fuel to crush your goals, to show up exceptional on a daily basis. You can follow us on Twitter at The Nurse Nurturer, Instagram at VP Nursing, and if you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. And you can also visit us on our website at www.vpnursing.com. Y'all have an awesome day.